Hello, welcome to the episode of Forgotten Cemeteries, Pacific Northwest. Today we're out in the middle of nowhere at Highland Cemetery, located in Sheridan, Oregon, I believe, Yamhill County. One source said Shipley, Oregon as well. Alternative names of the cemetery include Highland, spelled with a Y instead of an I, and Newell. So let's go meet some of the local residents and hear their story. Alright, a little history about this quiet one out in the middle of nowhere. It was established in 1865 with an estimated 25 to 100 burials per the Oregon Burial Site Guide. Find a grave is showing 71, so a small cemetery indeed. Other than that, not much in my guides about this cemetery, but basic info. One website said this cemetery is hardly worth the drive, but here we are. But it's a really pretty drive. I disagree with that. As far as the town of Sheridan, it was founded in 1866 by a Civil War general named Absalom Falconer, who was also a pioneer of 1846. He's not buried here, but at Sheridan Masonic Cemetery, so hopefully there'll be a future visit. Apparently, people referred to these lands as the most fertile in the entire world during the 1870s. Also, an interesting event took place here. May 11th, 1950, the farm of Paul and Evelyn was allegedly visited by a UFO. The couple took photos and they were published in Life magazine during that time. They were considered to be the most famous of all the UFO photos out there, but were under heavy scrutiny. However, because of this whole event, we can enjoy the UFO festival held in McMinnville, Oregon each year. The second largest UFO festival in the country, apparently. Today, we'll learn about a guy that took out a bear with just a hunting knife and then took an axe to the knee later on in life. And then finish off our trip with a visit with two Civil War veteran graves. Alright, our first stop is of Alfred Wilson, who is one of the older individuals in this cemetery. Find a Grave said he was born in Missouri, but another historical source, which I'm trusting more, said Tennessee in 1826. But I did read his parents did move to Missouri at one point, so again, just be careful with finding grave and sources. By 1846, he enjoyed exploring and hunting via horseback and traveled to the Rocky Mountains. Allegedly, he was known to kill a bear with just a hunting knife, so that's pretty impressive. During one of his travels, when he led a mule team across the plains, his crew was attacked by Indians. He would kill one of the Comanches, but barely survived, having arrows penetrate his clothing. Wasn't sure if he was injured in that little scuffle, and nothing on the write-up. But he did serve in the Mexican War in 1848 and was a scout, taking part in the siege of Santa Cruz. In 1850, he arrived in Oregon and would eventually lock down some land, guessing farming. Must have been a tough dude, because I read that some guy hit him in the back of a knee with an axe and it crippled him for like 18 months. Also, a kind guy as well, since reports of starving immigrants came about as more and more individuals are like coming to Oregon, not in the best shape. Alfred took up donations to support these individuals that were arriving into Oregon who weren't in the best shape, and kind of took care of them, so pretty giving guy. Overall, a pretty eventful life with near-death experiences, but luckily he lived long enough, dying in 1913 at the age of 87. Our last stop is the headstone of William Green, who served in the Civil War in Company C and E of the 8th Tennessee Volunteer Infantry. I'm unsure if he was Union or Confederate, as I read the county he was born in Tennessee was like very much divided during the Civil War. And that would be Coke County, I believe. My best guess it would be Union, but I could be wrong. Alrighty, time for the tour. You come in, kind of a parking spot there, little triangle. I think there's somebody that lives down that road because it says no trespassing. And the gate over here is unlocked to Highland Cemetery. And it makes that nice, long, creaky noise when you open it, all creepy and stuff. But it's very very quiet out here. Not a whole lot going on. This one took a while to get to, a good hour and 15 minutes west of Portland, maybe a little more. A lot of the write-ups said, you know, it's just not worth the drive for the people that like cemeteries. I disagree. I think it's been a pretty nice little trip. not that big, as you can see. Kind of pan the camera over there so you can see just how small it is. These individuals have some symbols on their headstones. I don't recognize them. Maybe some of you do. Kind of neat. They do have the old school headstones with just the initials. We've seen that before. It's kind of got this New Orleans look to it, doesn't it? Let's see this individual here. Looks like they died during World War I in 1917 for Justice and Freedom World War of Oswald Green. It's a nice headstone. I thought his last name was interesting. Lady. I haven't seen that yet. Leander Lady. And Alfred Wilson. Talked about his story. The original marker busted. I don't know. But small one out in the middle of nowhere off a road. A long winding road. I think it's worth a visit. It wasn't too bad. I think all cemeteries are. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the small little tour and the hidden Highland Cemetery. Minimal on the stories, but some good ones. If you have any other recommendations for cemeteries to visit in Oregon or even Southern Washington, feel free to comment below. Hope you have a good one, and stay safe out there.